Good evening, my dear Toastmasters and dear guests. My name is Toastmaster Dr. Rajeshwari Rapata, and I am the SAA for today's meeting. I welcome all of you to our 194th meeting of our Speak Magic Toastmasters Club. Cheers to all because today we'll be having a mock evaluation. And before starting the meeting, I would like to mention three ground rules which we follow in our Toastmasters meetings. First one is as Toastmasters, we don't talk about sex, religion, and politics. So please refrain from discussing these topics. Second one is please put yourself on mute if you're not speaking. And please turn off your video if you are stepping out of the meeting. But we need to be on the video when you're in the meeting, especially because we are to interact with each other and to know each other. And now, as everybody in our life has a mission to achieve our goals, likewise, our Toastmasters Club also has a mission. So, what is it? The vision and mission of a Toastmaster is to be the first choice provider of dynamic, high value, experimental communication and leadership skills development. So, with this, I announce this meeting as open and hand over the stage to our evaluation queen and president, Mrs. Swarna Lata. Over to you, Swarna.
Thank you very much, Rajeshwari ma'am, for being that impromptu SAA for our club. Thank you very much. It's always a delight when you open up this meeting room. I wholeheartedly welcome all the Toastmasters to the 194th meeting of Speak Magic Toastmasters Club. Indeed, it has been a special day for us. The journey of our Toastmasters Club is coming to a milestone meeting of 200 meeting. So it's very delightful day, and we are planning a lot of events on that day. So hopefully all of us will be joining us and participating in that. Before I set the contest for this meeting, I wanted to really thank each one of us who has been showing up today. Now, if you ask me, what is the importance in our day-to-day life with so many tasks and so many roles we handle? Sometimes it becomes too hard for us to just be there. Or sometimes the inner voice in us says that we have not done enough. I am not prepared enough. She is more prepared. She might take over the lead. Why should I prepare? But this is when showing up becomes a very important thing. Let me share a small insight. Once I signed up for a speaking competition. Till the last moment, the competition was around 4 o'clock. Till the last moment, there was some inner voice in me saying that you are not well prepared. How are you going to speak? Don't talk, don't even go there. Just say some excuse. In that last moment, somehow I took some courage and I showed up on the contest. And to my surprise, there were only four contestants where I thought in my imagination there will be some 20 people, 30 people, and all are well prepared, and But then I ended up winning the competition. That day I understood it is just the power of showing up. Sometimes we all live in our mind rather than coming out of the reality. So today, you showing up is not just your encouragement. It is also, you never know where few people are watching at you. You might have inspired someone by just taking up this step. So, with this thought, I always want to tell you that no matter what, first just show up. Even if you feel you're not best, you're not enough, you didn't prepare well, it's okay. It's okay, improvement is always there in our life, but then just to show up on the point is very important. So, with this, I would like to set the contest for this meeting. Today, we will be having a mock evaluation contest. So even before I go up and tell you how we are going to conduct the evaluation contest and all these things, let me introduce the only tag member for today's meeting is timer, and it's myself. I will be sharing today we have only one prepared speech, which is going to be the icebreaker. So the icebreaker timings will be 4 to 6 minutes. So at the end of the 4 minutes, I will be showing the green card. At 5 minutes, yellow, and at 6, it will be a red card. A grace period of 30 minutes will be given to you. So, since it's only one speech, after that, I will take you through the mock evaluation contest where we will be having our test speaker, and I will also give you the guidelines how the contest is going to happen. And since it is a mock contest, there is no going to be no winner or loser. We all are winner just by showing up for today's contest. Okay, but there will be one person I will be evaluating each one of you just to say what was your strength and what was your weakness from the contest point of view, and how you can be more prepared on your weaknesses so that you all can rock the stage when we have our real club contest. So the idea of this monk contest was just to ensure you make you feel how it feels on the day of contest and how the procedure will be taking place. So without further ado, let me first invite the evaluator for today's icebreaker speech. It is Toastmaster Mathur. Sir, can we have you on?
Yes. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Toastmaster Sibi is going to give his first speech from the path Presentation Mastery. The purpose statement of the speech are to begin speaking before an audience and to discover speaking skills the speaker has already has. The speaker can give or rather speak on any topic in any way he wishes, in a way in which he would like to introduce himself to the club members. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, sir. Timer and myself. The timing is 4 to 6 minutes. So before I introduce this Toastmaster, he joined Speak Magic Toastmasters Club very recently in the month of September. But I would like to say this about him. He is someone who's very keen in improving himself. Even before he became official member of our club, he was so energetic in learning about different roles. When I offered him the timer's role, he often came back to me saying that how do I do this? What should be my improvement? And even the second week, he voluntarily asked me, ma'am, can I do the timer's role again? I want to, improvise on where I left. So that is his level of, enthusiasm to learn more. So without further ado, Toastmaster Sibi, the stage is all yours.
Good evening, everyone. Ma'am, my voice is audible and it is clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I have taken the title Believe in Yourself. You cannot believe in God until you believe in yourself. Quoted by Swami Vivekananda. I'm really grateful for this moment to break the ice in front of highly positive and energetic people. I have taken this title because self-belief is like oxygen for me. I would like to introduce about myself before sharing few of my life incidents related to the title. Born in the year 1994, my parents named me as Sibi Chakravarti. They were inspired by the story of a great emperor who is well known for his generosity. I really hated my name during childhood days because it is too long and difficult to remember. They were so strict in my studies and I was limited to sports. I was not too good in studies and not too bad in studies actually. I have a younger brother who used to get consistently 95% in all the subjects. And my 80% or 85% of marks are considered as a just pass mark in the house. Because of that, I used to sign my report cards most of the time by myself. And one day they captured me. And the punishment was really severe. Overall, they were very good. And I had a very wonderful childhood life. I would like to share few difficult situations in my life and how I overcome it with my self-belief. I was overweight till my high school and used to get bullied in school. After board exams, I was really frustrated about the negative comments what people made of me. So I decided to lose my weight by doing some physical activities. So next day onwards, I went to a greenish ground which is located near to my house and started slow jogging. It was very tough for me because process became very painful. But the negative comments what people made of me was keep running my head. It pushed me, it fueled me. I completely believed in myself that I could do this. I visualized like I could be better at it. The results were amazing. I really worked hard. My body and my mind changed completely. The first day in my junior college, I was confidently walking in front of the people who made fun of me, and most of them could not able to identify me itself. I was so happy. It was different sort of high that I could feel inside. It all happened because of my self-belief. By the way, I realized the people who run full marathon are inhumans. There is another difficult story in my life happened during my college days. I have joined engineering college without discovering my own interest. Engineering courses are like gateway of exploring self-interest and self-realization. It is kind of a spiritual course, my dear friends. The lack of concentration in my studies hit me back really hard for the placements. The negativity surrounded me. But I didn't lose my hope. I believed completely in myself, stayed in positive mindset. Believe me, things have changed very quickly. I felt like I can able to break any negative situation in my life. With my self-belief. The reason why I'm sharing all these incidents, if I could able to overcome the tough situations with my self-belief, I strongly believe everyone could. Over these years, I have learning new things and trying to be better at it will leads to a fulfilled life. I also feel like it will make us humble and level-headed individuals. So for every success, the starting point is the self-belief. That's why I have taken this title, because it strongly related to me. And with my self-belief only, I have came to this level. And with that self-belief only, it may like I'm here to talk in front of you people. So kindly excuse me if my speech is boring, and thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Siddhi. It was indeed a pleasure to know you and about your self-confidence. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, since this is the first speech of the speaker, usually we give a standing applause to them. If now, please unmute and give a loud applause, which is our respect to him. Congratulations, Sudhi, and we look forward for more such speeches from you in a more different, advanced way.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking up the first step. So before we go forward, our test speaker has pinged me that he needs 5 more minutes to join. Marcus sir, are you ready with the evaluation, or you need few more minutes?
Yes.
Then we can have the evaluation for the CD.
Yes. Can I begin? Yes. Let me congratulate the speaker Sibi for breaking the ice and beginning the Toastmasters journey by picking up the path presentation mastery. You seem to be very good on the aspect of presenting yourself. The speech today was more a kind of an incident-oriented kind of a speech. There was a series of incidents in your speech, and some of them very humorous, especially the one that you said that you signed your own progress report. I think that was both mischievous, humorous, and that is quite normal at that age. I think all of us have some kind of a mischief. And the moment you said that, I was also taken back to my younger days. I think that was very well done. And another point, yes, right, whether it's our parents or relatives or teachers, or people normally compare. And that comparison was done with your own brother. Thank God it was only done with your brother. For me, it was done with people all around me. And I got to know that your brother is a more intelligent person, academically very strong. And then you are a special person in the sense, right from a very young age, you believed in yourself, and that belief in yourself has taken you to this level, and it has just helped you to transform and be a much better person. Yes, that was well brought out. The message was very clear, especially when you said that believe in yourself. You're giving us a message, you're just motivating us in a very positive way. But these are the wonderful things in your speech. But there are a few things I thought you can avoid. I think while selecting the whole thing, you selected a few incidents which are negative by nature, and you yourself indicated, oh, it is negative. Please do not say anything that is negative and one that is not convincing to you. I think you need not present it. Nothing in this world is actually forcing you to present such negative things. You should be able to present it out of your own free will. When your free will doesn't say it is negative, I mean, you've got to take a choice on that. That is one thing I thought you should do. And please do not say, forgive me if my speech is boring. No, never should you say that when you're speaking in a Toastmasters forum. Yes, everybody is here to support you. We are really hearing to your speech because your life is full of stories. When once you give your icebreaker speeches, it is full of messages. Your stories is what we want to hear, and we love listening to all your stories. I mean, the only thing is that these incidents, there were a few characters in your incidents. You did not mention the name of the school. You did not mention the name of your mother, your father, your brother. I think that is where I was looking for. Yes. I think when once you give names, I think that really brings, or rather generates, the interest to the next level, and it is more credible by nature. That's the thing of giving names. Yes. That's the only suggestion I got. Apart from that, I enjoyed listening to your speech. You are a confident person, and you definitely believe in yourself, and you're also making us believe, and the virtues of belief is evident in your speech. You stand by your speech, and that is what I could make out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. It was indeed a pleasure to hear your, from a seasoned Toastmaster. I think CD has got a lot of points from you. Thank you very much. By the time our test speaker joins, let me put forward the guidelines that we are going to follow in today's mock contest. So for the participants here, we have Toastmaster Rajeshwari, Toastmaster Uma Natraj, Toastmaster Vikas Guleria, Toastmaster Pata sir, and Toastmaster Nitya, who's going to participate in our contest. So I'm going to explain you how the contest will take place in the real contest that is we are going to have on 8th of October. The similar pattern will be observed in today's meeting. So the first guidelines will be, once the test speaker joins up, we will be giving you the title of the test speaker. We want all of you, all 5 of you, to have your video switched on. It should be in such a way that we could see you, your writing pad, not what you're writing in the pad, but then I think our test speaker has also joined. So I have to see your pad. I don't want to see what you're writing, okay? But then your phone's away. So what will happen is the test speaker will be giving a speech for 5 to 7 minutes. Once the speech ends, what I will give is, I will give a 5 minutes break time, where your videos, all your 5 people's video should be on, and none of us will be speaking at the. That is the time when you, when the speaker is telling, you can take your points. In the 5 minutes, you can jot out what you felt is the positives and what you want to convey in your evaluation. Once the 5 minutes is done, what I will do is, I will pull all of you into a breakout room. In breakout room, you are not supposed to look back at your notes. You have to turn your notes upside down and just simply sit with your audio and visuals open. Today, since it's a mock contest, we will not be having any SAA sent into your room for checking that what you are doing, but we trust you. But in contest, there will be a sergeant and arm sitting in the breakout room, seeing that what are you doing, whether you're taking out your mobile phones or someone is helping you. That will be watched out in a contest environment. Here, I'm not going to do that. I'm just picking you all and dropping you into a breakout room. At the end of the 5 minutes, once I pull you all into a breakout room, after a minute, I will be randomly selecting someone and bring you back to the to the main room, where you will be giving your evaluation, and then you stay in the same room. At the end of your speech, I'll pull out someone. Still, all of us are completed. So once all of you are done with your evaluation, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to evaluate each one of you. There is no winner or loser. It's only thing is, I'll help you to, from my knowledge, what good you did, what you can improve, so that we all can know on which area we need to work out to rock in our contest. So this is going to be the thing. Like every evaluation, you will be given 3 minutes, 2 minutes green, 2 minutes 30 seconds you will have yellow, and at the end of 3 seconds, 3 minutes you will be shown red. The other, like 3 minutes to 30 seconds of grace time will not be shown to you, as it will not be shown in the contest also. In contest also, only the green light will be shown. So you need to wrap up your evaluation within this point. So if everyone is ready, or do you have any questions, please let me know. Anyone has any questions?
The timer part alone, so
it's 2 minutes green card,
okay.
2 minutes 30 seconds yellow card will be shown, and 3 minutes a red card will be shown.
Okay.
Usually we have a grace period of 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, 30 seconds grace period will be given. That usually, usual Toastmasters meeting, you will update like your 30 minutes is 3 minutes, 30 minutes taken. But in contest, we will not specify.
Okay.
You'll only show the red color. So that is enough for you to understand that you have to wrap up your evaluation.
Okay.
Okay.
It will be at 3 minutes, right? The red will be at 3 minutes, and we have to figure out from that. Okay.
Yeah, you have to figure out from that. So because in contest, there might be a time disqualification, because you will not be shown exact digital time of what is happening. 3 minutes, red card will be shown. So is that okay for everyone? I hope every one of you are having your books and pens. Please keep away your mobile phones. So I will call the test speaker. We
Just
have
one doubt, Swarna. It's
Yes,
a long
ma'am.
time since we have attended the contest. So, like when the evaluator, when the speaker is speaking, can we start? Can we jot down the points?
Yes, ma'am. That is what you. Actually, what happens is, when the speaker is speaking, you need to jot out everything. The general idea is, don't think that you're going to talk this or that. Just take down what good you felt and what improvement you want. You just write down. And the end of the speech, when I start the 5 minutes, that is when you can jot down what you have decided that this will be my evaluation. There may be 10 good things that you have noticed. but you can 3 minutes you need to cut short it, right? So you can say three good, pick the top three from the 10. You can do whatever you want, how you want to structure it. All those things can be done in that 5 minutes. After that, you need to close your book upside down. You are not allowed to view your notes after that. But once I pull you back to the main room to give your evaluation, that time you can refer your notes and give us evaluation. That is, contest has no problem in that. Once you have come into the main room, you can refer your books. Even while evaluating, you can have your book and read it out. There is no issue in that. But inside the breakout room, you should not be looking at your notes. That is the content. Any other?
Actually, one more doubt here. So the standard rule is to say the good part and then the part that can be improved and then points to work on. That's the standard rule.
Yes, yes. So as you evaluate, I'll be evaluating, I'll tell whatever I understood, and we can, with everyone's evaluation, we'll get to know what it is.
Okay,
right?
sure.
Okay, I think whom I should until, ma'am. I will, Rajeshwari ma'am commented something. What happened? Okay. Okay, Venkat, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Can you give us your title?
I'll share you in the.
Okay. Okay. So for our contestants, I would like to call upon our test speaker. His title is Max Matters. Max Matters, Venkat Sai.
I'm
Toastmaster.
Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, I'm able to hear, but little bit voice is breaking.
Just a minute.
Right. I think he's not.
Hello?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the speech title is Max Matters, Toastmaster, Venkat Sai. Venkat Sai, Max Matters. The stage is all yours.
2 into 2, 4. 4 into 4, 8. 4 into 5, 25. That's all we all learn in the maths, right? How many of you learned that in your childhood mathematics class? Any raise of hands for me? Yes, we all learned that only. Just our maths teacher comes and say, how much is 2 into 4? Or else I'll beat you on your knuckles. That's all what they say. That's all irritating for me. One of my hatest subject is maths. But as a title says, math matters. Now you all be wondering, why is this maths mattering for me? Something very irritating for me. Doing 24, how much 24, opening the calculator, doing that. It's so irritating for me. And this also said by my friend. One of my friend named Ramakrishna. It's maths very much like me. The fact is he's not good at it. Obviously has lot to do with hating. He raises some tough questions, especially to me, where I am not very much good at maths. Where I'm going to use it? Why is it so important? If these questions sound familiar to you, it's not at all surprising for you, right? How many of you hate maths here? Hate maths in your childhood days? How many of you hate it? Thank you, Toastmaster Ruma. Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay. Yes, you're all with me. Yes, as kids, most of us wonder the same about maths. Here is the truth. You may not have used everything you learned in maths class, but consciously or unconsciously, you have definitely used a lot of it. For example, algebra, right? Our parents used to say, Venkat, what is it? A plus B whole square. A square plus B square plus 2A. Right, correct. But that is such a simple question which our parents ask. Now, if our parents says, Venkat, what is 50 into 100? I'll think for 10 minutes of time, but I get no answer from my mouth. Right. Every time you decide how much money you invest in to create a certain corpus, or how to prepare for a different size of serving certain dish, or the geometry of different shapes of serving a dish is also another lesson, right? Now, if you want to buy a television size would be ideal for your wall, how much liter of bottle cost? That's all maths, right? Now, if you would say about a bottle of water, 1 liter is equivalent to how much ml? That's also maths. The decision you took mentally or unconsciously, consciously is all about maths. Maybe it will be a bottle of water, maybe it's a pack of biscuits, because in the pack of biscuits also we count 1, 2, 3. In my family there are 6 members. Now I have only took five biscuits. Only one is left. This all maths. Every time you make a decision, you use probability mentally to find the benefits of different choices, right? Probability. How many of you know about probability? That's probability. Everybody knows that. Yes, probability. Can somebody say me what is probability mean? Let's see how much of you remember your math. Let me
Toss
pick.
a coin, whether it is heads or tails, even in a cricket match. So
Okay.
it may be head or tail. That is probability.
Okay. Can I ask our president Toastmasters Swarnalata, what is probability?
The chance of either way, it is like a cat on the wall, whether it is on the right side or on the left side. It's like
Correct. Yes. In fact, if you read statistics also in the class, in the school, the amount of data collected through social media, through e-commerce or other arms of internet, there's immense of people who know how to use averages, regression, correlation, probability. Oh my God, what a chapters! Those all very embarrassing to say me now, because that's why I took a law subject field to not to go into that field, max field. Now, the truth is, if we use or not to use in the likelihood, because we don't remember the lessons well. If you did math as well, remember the permutations, combinations, logarithm to list. I just made the list. Permutations, combinations, probability. But before we proceed, recalling our math, naturally one question that arises is that I know how to use averages and probability, but what about trigonometry, or what about calculus? Let's answer this from different perspective now. Now, when you go to a gym, workout on a treadmill, are you training yourself to become a bodybuilder? No, right? Or no, let's say you weight lifts. Are you training to lift a heavy tree that may fall on you after a storm? No, right? You train for different exercises in the gym to tune different parts of your body. It's same as a math. Different type of math exercises also help you to train your brain for different types of thinking. Now, for example, if I say you are doing this, you are doing analytical thinking, abstract thinking, critical thinking, which end up having a great impact on your life. You lead actions, you take decisions, you make. It would be wrong say math is a gym. How many of you agree that math is a gym? I don't agree math is a gym. Gym like a thing. How many of you agree with me? Anybody? Toastmaster Uma. Okay, thank you for Toastmaster Uma. If you still have reservations about the maths lessons you took, think about a geology class you have attended. How many of you have geology subjects in your class, childhood days? I don't have geology. I don't know what is geology also. Geology? Anybody? No. Okay. Swarnalata can ma'am has. Okay, let me have a class from ma'am and sometime. Think about unless you're working for a mining company, most of us don't use geology in our daily lives, or use Shakespeare's play to make the delightful conversations. Now, if I say Shakespeare's play, many of you will go to the love story of Shakespeare, Julian and Caesar, right? Now, let's not go to that. Yet we not study all this, but also history, geography, chemistry. It because them help us to grow round person, all-rounded person. Albert Einstein said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He doesn't pays for it, but he also says compound interest is as much as math as it is a finance. So if you're a little good at math, you will know how compound interest works and how you can create exponential wealth using it. If nothing else, I hope that's a little math that will definitely interest you all. Over to you, contest chair.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Venkat Sai. Thank you very much. Now I will switch on the timing for 5 minutes for the people to take down their notes. So it starts now. I want all the contestants to use this, and there will be a silence till the 5 minutes. At the end of the 5 minutes, I'll pull you back to the breakout rooms. Half time is done. Two more minutes is Toastmasters, the time is up. I want you to keep your papers upside down, and now I'll be opening up the breakout room. Please join the breakout room. There's a message broadcast to you all. Okay. I think all the evaluators have gone to the breakout room. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going into the breakout room, check whether everyone is there, and then I'll pull out one of the member who will be giving their first evaluation. So let me just give me 1 minute. I'll quickly go into the evaluation room and come. I've seen them and I've given the introduction. So let me just call out the first participants. Okay. I think both of Nitya, wait, I'll send you
Showed
back.
up for me also. It showed up for me. So
It also showed up for you. Wait, I'll move you back to 1 second. I'll just put you back here and then I'll.
sure.
You get a request now to join the breakout room again?
I did not get any pop-up. I've not got anything yet.
Gave you the pop-up request. I don't know why it's not coming. If you don't mind, can you join little later? Just log off and then after 3 minutes you can join.
Okay. I'll join
Log off
after
the meeting and after 5 minutes you join.
Yeah, okay. I'll even rejoin them. Not a problem. Not a problem.
Thank you for understanding.
No problem.
Partha sir, your time starts now.
Our target speaker is T.M. Venkatsai, put a speech on the subject of the math matters. When I heard about the word maths matter, it's raised a question in our mind. Is it talking about our weakness on math or what is matter? It's such an intriguing topic itself. First thing he started with, 2 is into 4 is equal to how much? Starting the questions. We are quite surprised. Why he is asking it? It is too easy. Kindergarten maths, by which we try to put back ourselves in our childhood days. Yes, friends. He start his speech with the questions, and that is engaging point for this all audience. Number 2, what a wonderful hand gestures he put on through his speech. His hand gestures is equally conveying his message, what he want to put through his speeches. Hard thing is that question from the starting to end totally hold the audience. We are so engaging with the speech, and we are always curious at what he will saying, and each and every question start ourselves thinking something. The questions: what is the probability? How much bottle cost? What is the cost of packet of biscuits? Sometimes we all faces similar situation in our life, once or many times. So all these things engaging ourselves. Third thing is that he put very beautiful things through his question also. Train your brain. When we heard this term, train your brain, we start thinking, is it relevant? We are thinking like that, or we are not believing it. He example the practicing math with the putting effort in our gym. That's a great example. He bring the one of the beautiful quote of the Albert Einstein that compound interest is the world, one of the wonder of this world. It is one of the best things he put through his speech. There are few areas I believe that he can do better. Number one thing is very important. That is the camera positions. His camera position was not okay. He was standing and looking towards downwards. So usually he is not able to make his proper contact. Number two, his posture was not okay. That is also the camera position. He was sometimes a little bit bent and raising questions. So it is not looking good. As an audience, I not sometimes feel uncomfortable. Someone asking me question, looking towards down. Number three is voice modulation. Few areas was ups and downs. Why are was ups and downs? When he talk about his teachers. So there should be difference in the character he's playing and what he's saying. So there should be difference in the voice modulation, but there was not significant any changes. Number four, when he playing the role of the teacher asking the question, he should take the stage positions, but he was standing the similar positions. And very few things he pronunciation was not proper, just like the probability, trigonometry. There is a few things he can do better. As a whole, it was very good, engaging speech. He was very confident, excellent hand gesture, little bit improvement of the cameras, eye contact, voice modulations, and posture. It can make him to the next level. Thank you.
Sir, I think Nitya is connected. Nitya, you can go ahead with your evaluation.
Okay. So very good evening to all of you. Math matters. That was the topic of our test speaker. Now, math indeed matters. I think there's no doubt about that. He's very beautifully explained the whole process of why math matters, from giving very good examples such as, the proportions of a dish, or be it the TV size. I think these were very relatable examples. Decision making is another very good point. Now, going forward to the salient aspects of his speech, I would say our speaker has definitely capitalized on all his strengths, namely. I'm really sorry. Can I start again? Just a second. One second. I'll be back. I'm really sorry.
No, Lata, can you unpin myself and Sibi? We are pinned over there.
I'm really sorry. There's been movement here. It's distracting me. Super sorry about that. I'm starting again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have reset your timings also.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for understanding. Yeah, I'm starting again. A very good evening to all of you. Like it already started with, our test speaker has done a very good job with explaining why math matters. Math indeed matters. I mean, be it the example of our TV size, or be it putting proportions of salt or batter or anything in our daily lives, math really matters. It's of great use to us. And decision making is another very important aspect where it's used a lot. Now, going forward to the salient aspects of our speaker. Now, I think he's done a very good job by employing relatable examples. Like Madhur sir had said, he's put a name to a face, and that makes it very relatable for somebody to weave out a story. He's weaved out a very coherent story at that. That's definitely a very good point. The second thing is employed a very good use of the rhetoric. Now, rhetoric is questions that help him interact with the audience. He's done a great job with that. He's asked questions that make us think, and we are more attuned to what he's speaking. That's a very good point. And the various examples he used, the various other hooks, the end hook that he used are all very interesting to know. Now, these are all the very good aspects of his speech, which definitely made us listen more to it. Now, as whenever there are good aspects, there are also not so good aspects that we can work and improve upon. So one thing that struck me all through the speech was that the vocal variety could have been a little better. The points were all really, really good, but a little more variety in the vocals in terms of probably whispering or using a slightly different sound would have made for a delight to the whole speech, because the topic is such a beautiful topic which could have been slightly explored better. And the second thing I would say is the points could, I mean, there could have been a little more clarity, like a little more slow. I mean, he could have gone a little more slow with his points and expressed them a little more elaborately, and that would have helped us in sticking the points to our mind much better. So that's one other point. Now, what are my takeaways from this speech would be the fact that math is a very beautiful subject, and it's, I mean, as much whether we like it or hate it, it's something that really matters. And I think our speaker has brought the point wonderfully across. Thank you.
Thank you, Nitya. Thank you for that. Let me just pull on another. Uma has asked. Uma ma'am, you can start with your evaluation.
Algebra is a cobra which makes you Gabra. This is the quote which came to my mind when the speaker, Toastmaster Venkat Sai, started his speech about Max matters. Definitely, it resonated with my hatred towards Max in my younger days. I realized that it is an incident-based story, which was also informative and taught us some lesson too. The three things that I liked in Venkat Sai's speech. Let me just elaborate. The first thing, it was a great speech which connected to our daily life. And the opening statement, which he said, how many of you know that 2 into 2 is equal to 4 and 5 into 5 is equal to 25? He started asking like that. I remembered learning my max tables. 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6, 2 4s are 8. And I never knew why I was learning that. I just memorized it during my younger days. And they also say that a subject you like because of the teacher. And I never took to max. I don't know why. Maybe it was I didn't get an interesting teacher. So max definitely matters nowadays, but I didn't realize it at that time. Secondly, I resonated with the various stories or incidents when he asked the audience about probability, then about trigonometry, algebra, and how it is finding its scope in our daily life. Like when we are using it in arranging the different food dishes, we see the geometrical shapes. Then when we are calculating or going to a shop, we use max. So all that, if we had been taught in our younger days, we would have realized the importance of max. Maybe our teachers didn't tell us where it will be useful, like how Venkat Sai was wondering how his friend Ramakrishna also had a hatred towards max and didn't know where max can be applied. But now all of us have realized, yes, max matters. But even now, I feel that if our teachers had taught us where it matters, it would have added more sense. Number 3, I loved the message in the end, where he quoted about Albert Einstein and said that CI or compound interest is the 8th wonder in the world. And how if you know the exponential value of interest, you will appreciate max. Yes, these were the three wonderful things. To add more value to your speech, here are some commendations or recommendations for you. What you can do, I felt that the lighting could have been better, because eye contact is the main thing which connects you to the audience. I felt the light was slightly dim and we could not see or eye contact with the audience. That can be improved. That is the first thing. Second one, I felt even the camera position and the way you showed your body language could have been better. I could see that you were swaying from one side to the other. Maybe if you could have told one incident from one side, the other incident from the other side, it would have added more value to your speech. And thirdly, the structure and the transition could have been better. If you had just structured it in a better way, say quoting incidents, incident number 1, incident number 2, and if you had finally re-emphasize the message saying that how max matters. Initially, you had a hatred towards max, but later you realized that max has its importance in daily life. That would have added more value to the speech. So finally, to conclude, I would like to say you are a great speaker in the way you connected with the audience and how you told that max matters. But finally, if you can re-emphasize the message, you're a great speaker. Just keep that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now let me get back the other participants. Because sir, you can start, but just 1 minute and just reset the timings. Yeah, because sir, you can now start your evaluation.
Okay. Toastmasters Sai. When I heard the topic maths matter, my ears start ringing something familiar with. Then like a rock star with a violin or a guitar in his hand, train. How many of you have studied maths? I just was feeling that you are also playing some guitar in that. Because when a guitar player, he plays first note, the whole hall went in silence. And with your question, everybody was silent. Maths. We all are afraid of maths. And with your speech, you very well validated that point. Then you unwrapped all the layers of mathematics. You were taking me to algebra, you were taking me to probability, you were taking me to statistic, all the familiar terms. And you connected them very well. Asking different questions from audience. All of us felt attached to your speech. Then the way you presented, you asked the question and supplemented them with your hand gestures, that were amazing. Having said that, I found that you haven't placed your camera at a proper place. I could see whole of your body, but not able to see your face. I just wanted to see the emotions coming on your face, but I was not able to do that. Then I was feeling that in the end, you will ask some call of action like that. How many of you believe that mathematics is an important part in our daily lives? And how many of you will put your kids to learn mathematics in a proper way? Venkat Sai, you are an amazing speaker and you validated that today in your speech. Just to challenge yourself, you have brought some characters in your speech, but the thing which was missing was voice modulation. You could have brought your father, you could have brought your mother with authoritative voice. Venkat Sai, you know A plus B square is A square plus B square. Like that, you could have done. You could have made your speech a marvelous one. I would like to see you at this level of your speech, and I am hopeful that in your future speech you will do that. Thank you. Over to you, Time.
Thank you very much, Vika sir. Then we'll have the last participants for today. Let me. Rajeshwari ma'am, that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ma'am, just 1 minute. Yes, ma'am. I will start. You can start your evaluation.
What a start of the speech. 2 into 2 is equal to 4, 2 into 3 is equal to 6. Maths matters. Yeah, it surely matters for me because I was totally, it was a rewind for me. It took me back to my good old school days, and where really maths was tough for me. I had to take two tuitions. Yeah. So coming to your storytelling and all, how you explained about the probability, permutation, trigonometry, and all the questions you were asking during the speech, it kept us engaging and hooked to your speech. That was wonderful. Then you also explained about the analytical thinking, abstract thinking, critical thinking. Yes, of course, it is very important in this. Then how it is important in the banking sector, in statistics. Then you also asked questions related to geology and geometry and geography. This all things kept us engaged till the last few minutes. And it was quite engaging, interesting topic, and it kept us hooked till the last. While you're speaking, I found that your tonality was very good. The voice was clear in the major part of the speech. And I found that there were no filler words also. Finally, the storytelling, it was so relevant and it took me back. That is one factor. Of course, I felt that it might have taken everyone back to their school days. And I felt that you were really holding the audience. But a few points for the feedback, for the recommendations. I would say the last 1 minute, I felt that you were a little bit of distracted, maybe because of lack of time, and you were mumbling the words. And that's where I felt that the Albert Einstein and some things which you were telling, it was not somewhat like relevant to the topic, and was quite fast while you were speaking. And the camera position, it was as if you were looking downwards, standing and looking downwards. So that was a little bit of odd there. And I saw you moving continuously while you were giving the speech. So it was a little bit of distracting for me. You are a very good speaker, and I think these few points will improve your speech and you will like shine like a very good public speaker. This is where I find that you have to bring a little more of expression. Best luck and congratulations.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So we have completed our mock contest. So even before I actually evaluate each one of you and tell what has to be done, have you all seen the evaluation judges ballot? That is my first question to you. Are you aware there is something called as judges ballot?
Yeah.
So it is for any contest in our Toastmasters, whether it is in a humorous contest or evaluation contest, international speech, or for table topic contest. No, we all are individuals who all have our own way of thinking, our own bias of answering. So Toastmasters has something called as judges ballots, which means when you are being trained, we clearly give you a guidelines like for this 100 out of 100 marks, if the speaker speaks in a particular way, give him 15. So within the 15, the judges will be marking. So maybe for some speaker, like Venkat Sai's speech, maybe I felt his vocabulary is flawless, he's very good. Then maybe out of 15, I would have given 14. Maybe Rajeshwari ma'am felt, no, he's not that good. She might have given 10. So for any competition, the first part is attack the judges ballot. Study your judges ballot. Know which point, which area the judges will be giving more points. So let me first share you the judges ballots. One sec, just give me a time. So is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you see how the judges are going to mark you on your evaluation contest. So first thing, they want the one that has a maximum weightage is analytical quality. How clearly and how focused you have, analyzed the entire speech. If you have done it excellent, you will be getting maximum 40 points, a very good. It will be 28 to 30, good, fair. So what does it mean is not being subjective. In the sense, you need not deal about some topic. For example, I might feel that maths is not matter. Maths is not at all matter. That might be my opinion. But I should not be judging the speech based on my perception of maths. But rather, I would be judging the person based on the way he delivered the speech. I have no problem with the content. Even maybe Venkat Sai gives a speech saying that non-veg eating is very good. I might be a pure vegetarian. I don't want to go and have a conflict with what is his speech material, but rather the way the speech is written, the way the speech is delivered. So if you can analytically separate the speech in a very clear and focused way, you get maximum points, 40. And the other is recommendations, because the purpose of any recommendation is to make the speaker better. So I have it is not about finding fault with what is the fault in the speaker, but rather if you could give few points that will help the speaker to improve, that is what we are doing in evaluation. Evaluation, the basic purpose of evaluation in Toastmasters is tomorrow when you give the next speech, you should be able to get at least some positive points from the evaluator that you can implement and take your speech a level higher. So recommendation, how purposeful it was. Random points like, your pronunciation is wrong, it can be given, but maybe in private. But if you say that, if you see the entire speech had a very bad pronunciation, of course it is very specific. So your point of recommendation should always be very positive, how positive you are speaking and how specific it is and how useful. So when you say, maybe, for example, you said that the camera, many of us, all of us pointed out that the camera angle was not right. But I waited for at least any one of the evaluator to tell how to make it right. So when we give a recommendation, it has to be specific and useful. You could say, Venkat Sai, your eye contact was not proper because you kept your camera angle very low. His laptop was probably on a table and he was speaking from this. So you can give a simple recommendation. If you could keep your laptop at a higher level, at your eye level, then your eye contact could have been clear. So it is just that any recommendation we give, it should always be, if you can back it up with some example. Suppose you said your tonality is very flat, for example, then you could have said like, when you spoke about, do you know Einstein's point? If you could have raised your voice and said, do you know what Einstein said? This immediately grabs the audience attention. So whenever we provide a recommendation, it has to be followed by the quote that has been taken from the speech, and also quickly give some recommendation on how to overcome it. You can either enact. So that is having 30 points. Technique. Technique is how sensitive you are towards the speaker. When you say, we generally don't do that, but still, if you say that, no, you were wrong in that position, I don't agree with you, it was not that great. When you say, you're not motivating the speaker to be back on the stage again. So here, the way you speak, the words you use. For example, the very important thing that we miss. When we say all the positive recommendation, and then we come to the negative, we always say, all of this is okay, but, or however, after saying this, however, you need to improve, then what happens is whatever positive you have stacked up until now, the speaker will not be able to grasp because you're telling it's okay, you did good, but then this is a wrong. So the transition between the recommendation, commendation and recommendation should be such smooth that the opposite speaker will be able to, take it. Okay, it's okay. I have missed out this point. I'll be taking out. So how motivating you are, how motivational you are speaking to him, so that the speaker is encouraged to give more and more speech, improve his skills. So that technique, how empathetic you are, how sensitively you are using your words, motivational. And the most common thing that has a major points, like 15 points for what? In summation. The thing is, in a contest, when we have 10 to 15 contestants, everyone comes and gives their commendation, but the judges will not be able to follow with all of them. So what happens is the last 30 seconds should be effectively used to summarize your point. It doesn't mean that you need to tell like everything, like give all examples. No, make it precisely. Probably your storytelling, your gesture, body language, your tonality. So you have to summarize all the positive things that you said. What are the recommendations you're giving in a simple word, so that the judges get into know that, okay, this is what is her evaluation is all about. So to handle this, always remember, when you say in summary, to summarize, when you use this word, you automatically end up getting this 15 points. If not at least 10, you will be there. Most of the contestants who lose, it loses on this, because we are so busy in elaborating with examples that we forget to summarize. So the major recommendation they always give is kindly say in summarization, because you don't need to use any fancy words there, because the judges will be, in a moment they'll understand, okay, you're giving the summarization, you're concluding, and then they'll give you a good point. So this 15 points is something that most of us miss. So this is our judges palette. I will post this and humorous contest thing also in our group, so that you can read and understand where you need to emphasize more on your evaluation. Hope it is clear. If anyone has any doubt, you can just ask me.
Yes, ma'am, I am not much clear about this analytical quality. When we are giving commendation, so how this analytical quality factor can be incorporated?
Sir, it is about when you're evaluating a speech, the speech can be evaluated for its content, its style of writing, for its style of delivery. So sometimes, many people go for only this, like your hand gestures were good, your vocabulary was good, these things. But if you could have, like for example, if Venkat Sai's speech, no one understood that his speech was very beautifully looped. How he began the speech with a question, ended the speech with question. It is a loop technique to keep the audience in speech. So no one spoke about this technique of writing the script. So what the judges want to see is how well you can dissect the speech. Whether if everyone is talking about eye contact, everyone is telling this dim light, then you don't get any extra weightage. But if you could meaningfully break down the speech, like, your structuring of the speech was good. If you could give 1 point about the structure, if you could give 1 point about his body language, if you could give 1 point about the delivery. So it's analyzing how well you can analyze his speech. That is what carries the 40 minutes.
One more question.
Yeah.
You have told that for summation we should keep 30 seconds. What should be the division of timing for commendation and recommendation? Because we are having total 3 minutes. Out of that, half a minute has gone for summation. So how much has to be given for commendation and how much has to be given for recommendation?
Because actually, ideally, there is no such time, because I have, tried to ask many contest winners, like, how do you do? Few people generally suggest, like, by the time the green card is visible, go for commendation. Give good things till 2 minutes. And once you see the green card coming, or even just 15 seconds before the green card, start your recommendation. And by 3 minutes, you have to stop your recommendation and then go for your summarization, because we effectively get 3 minutes 30 seconds. You are not disqualified before 3 minutes 30 seconds. But some people feel that it is very risky, because you are just shown a green card at, a red card at 3 minutes. You don't know when the 30 seconds flies away. If if you practice regularly, probably you will know that by 3 minutes 30 seconds how to stop. So to avoid the risk, people they quickly do the summarization, maybe within 15 seconds, escape. But there is no ideal max. Like, generally what is followed is they go for 2 minutes till the green card comes, full recommendation, full commendation, and then once the green card is seen, recommendation. Try in this instant the red card is seen, stop there and then give the summarization. But you should ensure that it is not very abrupt also, it's seen how abruptly you cannot stop and go for any summarization. So that's how it works. Any other question? Okay. So this is how in an evaluation contest things happens. So I will not be going with each one of you, but then I will say all that I have observed as a thing. So the first thing, if you see Venkat Sai's speech, let me talk about his speech. Okay, what good we felt and what felt. First thing, he had a phenomenal way of opening. When he asked 2 + 2 is equal to 4, then what he did is in the first 10 seconds, he grabbed our attention towards our speech. And if you watch out, throughout the speech, he had included many things that is just hooking us. Like, he compared our day-to-day experience, like, TV size of the camera, TV size on the wall, how much liters of water the tank takes. So he had a very good hook technology. And also audience involvement. Like, right from the beginning, middle, and in the end, he had a lot of questions, waiting for audience response. So that is a very good way of keeping your audience engaged. So that he did, and he also used a particular phrase. If you could have used it in your evaluation, it would be more like, the question. If this question sounds familiar, don't be surprised. We all are in together. That was a very brilliant hook to put everyone into the same comment, because we all felt, yes, we all were there in that situation of Max, and Max is just saying that if you don't answer, beating on their hand knuckle. So such brilliant points can be noted. And for the analytical, you can watch out the way the entire speech was structured. He brilliantly had a question for starting up and opening. So he completely closed the loop. So I'm just dissecting his speech as much as I know. So those were the points that can be taken up. For recommendations, yes, we all came up with the camera angle was not right. His body was moving too much, that was distracting. Uma ma'am came up with a brilliant thing that his light was not, he had the light in the background and his face was in shadow. So we could not see this. These points can be raised. You can say that your camera angle, but when you say your camera angle, if you feel that is very common, it is very obvious, right? When he is speaking, it is very obvious for us to see that his camera angle is not nice. So there is always a trick. If you can find out some more points that is more relevant, then that would be, because that camera angle everyone is going to say, because it's very prominent. Everyone has seen that his eye language, eye contact was not up to the point. So in a contest, always try to find something that others cannot find. But it could be a little risky also. Sometimes the judges might say that everyone has pointed out, you have not pointed out. So don't try to be very different from others. But then 1 or 2 points, if you say it is very obvious, try not to mention it. That is one take. Let me come for, this is what I observed. And one more thing, he didn't have call for action. It's a very important that if I'm spending 5 to 7 minutes to you, call for action is required. And somehow I expected this from any one of you, that the speech, although the speech was very funny and it was a humorous speech, he was trying to convince the mass, but without the call for action, I didn't get anything out of the speech except that it was fun. It was humorous for us to enjoy. But what was the takeaway? It was not very clear. Some might say that it triggered us to think that math, how important maths is in our life. But without a takeaway, I didn't believe that the speech had something for me to remember. So such things you can analyze in a speech. So I know in a contest, your brain sometimes gets blocked up. You don't, try to. You will be in such a moment of heat. So how can you do this? Is practice. Go in YouTube. You'll find a lot of speeches, 5 to 7 minutes. Just try to hear and write what points you can, and also try to combine your speech in 5 minutes. The 5 minutes gap. If you can practice that regularly, or otherwise be a evaluator regularly, then you will get that speed and imagination to do that. So let me see who was first. I think Partha sir was first. In Partha sir's speech, what I felt that you didn't give any example for commendations, and you also for the recommendations, you said the camera angle or too much of movements. There also, for the camera angle, you could have provided the solution, and then and they're asking questions. There also, if you could see that he was asking questions, but for some questions, he was not waiting for us to answer. The pause was not there. So you could have put that in a way that we need a pause. When you ask a question to someone, you need to give us that 10 seconds or 5 seconds for the audience to respond. So that could be your recommendation. Your summary of the speech was not there. In a quick, like for example, all the points you said, you could have said, in summary, you had a very engaging story, good personal story, and a good hand gesture. If you could just improve on your camera position, on your movement, on your body, you can say on your body gestures, this could have been a most scintillating speech or something like that. Avoid saying good morning, thank you for the speech. No, because you are in a contest. No, we are not interested in you greeting us. Because why? Because we want to utilize the 3 minutes perfectly to show that yourself. In our regular, in a regular evaluation, it's still not recommended. Wishing or you can take the speaker's name. That is a very good way of doing this. And in this speech, one particular thing was missed for everyone. Maths matter. He very cleverly used the title right from the start to the end. Because when you were asking for the analytics, right? Here this is very good analytics that he has very cleverly used the word maths matters in entire speech. So good usage of speech, like good usage of title all throughout his speech. That could be a very good analytical point when you do the evaluation. So it's like, so that is one thing. And then Nitya, I think she's very new, so she didn't give the commendations. So the thing is like you need to number your commendation. That you can say like 3 things I like, or the first, second. So So that it is all about the judges' point of view. Judges have to understand. And when they hear 10 to 15 people, sometimes it's a big contest. If you area under, if you go, they'll have 50 to 20 people coming up and telling whatever they feel. The judges need that space. They need to know that, okay, Nitya gave some 3 points recommendation, 3 points commendation. She gave something. So you need to point it out. And when you are giving your recommendation, try to quote some sentences from the speech. That is very important. So that we even the speaker will know where he went wrong, where he has to do. That Partha sir did. Partha sir did, quoted the Einstein's point about whatever he said, but you have to quote and also the summary. Summary point, you may not explain all the 3 points, but just give it in a single word, storytelling, body language, tonality, something like that.
Okay.
So that summary part has to be done. So you need not say thank you, good morning, and all. That is not at all required. And one more thing, I'm sorry, I'm getting in between. The analytics, the speech had a lot of humor. No one said anything about humor. Sorry. The most important thing about his speech was it was humorous. None of the contestants spoke about that. You could have said your speech was very good with a sprinkle of humor that you had all throughout your speech. I know sometimes in contest these things will not settle. Now that I heard all of your evaluation, I am getting more and more idea. But then that could be one analysis, right? A very good humor was there all throughout his speech. He made it very relatable to all of us with his examples. So that could be a very good commendation point. So that can be, and Uma ma'am, since she's a pro in this, she used that algebra as a cobra that creates a gabra. I was like literally blown out. You can think about such a very good opening. Either some quote that you have in your mind, like for example, anything for any health, social issues, if you know some quote, you can twist and use it. Or this one was, I think, a very instant one that Uma ma'am has used, I can't even, algebra is a cobra which creates a gabra. So something like that, that will instantly catch the judge's viewpoint. Or if you are very good at quotes, you can use the quotes also. So always plan for a one-liner, just one-liner startup. Like sometimes I use childhood memories. This is what the incident I thought when Toastmasters, Venkat Sai spoke about this. So something you feel that it is related to you to make the thing. So in the contest, it is all about showcasing your talents. So you can use such a very good thing. Ma'am had a wonderful commendation. She gave every commendation an example. But then in a recommendation point, again, I would suggest there was no, proper solution given how to overcome that. So the, even after evaluating, the speaker will not know what he has learned or what he can implement. So the solution is there. And when ma'am said the transition is not smooth, you could have, given some example, like when you said you were compared to your siblings. If some transition points could have been given an example. That is for Uma man. For Vikas sir, a very good anecdote of comparing guitar playing with, the start. But what I missed is you could have said something related to guitar in the ending so that it looks as if you are very well organized because we all get only 5 minutes to organize. So when you started with guitar, for example, many evaluation we start with cake, like 3 layers of cake. First layer was this beautiful, it was very icing. Second, it was 3, 4, and then I can say like to add on this, anyone will like to have lot of toppings on the cake, isn't it? So let me give you some toppings, and then start your recommendations. So in that way, the transition between good and bad is neutralized. The speaker will not even know that you are telling that he is being lagging in something. He'll just feel that you're telling some toppings. We all love our pizza, isn't it? If you had more toppings, it would have been wonderful. So something like more cheese on it. So let me start with first cheese. Something like that. So that could be there. Because sir, it was a very good anecdote of connecting the guitar and the volume. It was very nice. But only thing is, sorry, I have repeated it. So only thing is, if you could just connect it back with an idea that is there. Rajeshwari ma'am, your recommendations were on point, but when in commendation, I felt like you always used same word repeated. Of course, you know, right? So these are words, in context, it doesn't give much weightage to your speech, and your summary was also missing. So what I would recommend you is, at least in contest, you should always remember that it is all about how you exhibit yourself, your vocabulary, not to go to very high-fi vocabulary that judges don't understand, but then not to keep repeating like I like this I liked, so or of course. And there were few words that generally I want all of you to not to use. That is, however, but your speech was very good. However, but these things will create a negative annotations. It will give a, you're good, but so you can use very smooth transitions like biggest room is improvement. Biggest room in the world is improvement. Try to give the transition between positive and negative in a very smooth way that the judges also feel that you're very optimistic, you are, motivating the speaker. And you can avoid good morning, good evenings, and also you are a phenomenal speaker, you are a best speaker. These things, okay, it's good, but if you can back it up, like, you are a wordsmith because brilliant because of the vocabulary usages. You can quote some 2, 3 rhyming, or you are a poet. You are used three. If suppose in speech they are very rhyming words, if you would have noted that, then you can use like you are like a Shakespeare. You used a very good vocabulary, like, and then use quote the example of those 3 words that the particular person has given. Then it gives more elaborate. Some people I've seen give a very, like communication style also. You are so good in communication that persuasive. You are persuading. You are sold your product to us. So you can think such innovative ways of doing this. So this is what I felt about the entire speech. Is there any questions or anything you want to know? This is whatever I told you is based on my knowledge of evaluation and seeing a little bit of context. That is what. Now you can.
Yes, Toastmasters Swarna.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
wanted to ask one question. What is the sequence of evaluation? Means I started with a summary and then I gave the commendations and then recommendations. So it should be what should be the sequence of that?
Ma'am, it depends. See, for example, many people use like sandwich method. One good, one recommendation, one good, one recommendation. No one cannot say which one will be, will like judges thing. There is a popular thing that sandwich method work. Like you give one recommendation, one commendation. But off late we have seen it is not happening like that. First, all like to listen the commendation and then recommendation and summary. But whatever you do, what I would recommend is please have a very good one-line starter. Even if you don't, in that moment, if you don't get, a quote or some twisters in the word, leave it. Make it a very, very special one addressing the speaker, or in general, like health is care, sharing is caring, something like that. Make it a very just one liner. Don't go too much on that one liner, and then you can give your 3 recommendations. 3 things I really loved about your speech, or you can see that the cake that you sold to me had 3 different layers. The first layer had a very good humor. You can say it's a very good hand gestures. You sprinkled humor on it. Such things you can say and make it. But always keep your summary at the end. Summary should be at the end. Give your summary, and if you can add even a closing line, that would be like, this is what I learned. How about you, contest chair? Or this is what I personally took away. What about you, contest chair? Something, address the contest chair and close it. So that the judges also know that when you say in summary, judges will know that you're closing it now. and then they'll do that. That is how.
And one more thing I wanted to ask: why is this? It's not getting unpinned. When the speaker was speaking, it was like it was not on the screen.
Oh,
The
okay.
speaker should be pinned. I was not able to observe the gestures and all these things.
Then that is my mistake, ma'am, because very late I realized that Mathur sir and the CBS still, that is my mistake, ma'am. In contest, both you will see the speaker very clearly, and also the timers will be pinned into the screen. Once the speech is done, the 5-minute speech will be everything timer, everything will be pinned, and things will be taken care of. So that is any other question? Partha sir is smiling. He wants to ask anything.
No, ma'am. First of all, I want to thank you. Thank you so much for giving us so detailed evaluations. It really, really means for me and to learn better and to present better. Thank you so much. You are so great listeners. You listen each and every point that we made mistakes. We did better, and you pointed out each and every point. Thank you so much for your commendable effort.
I second what Partha sir said. You very minutely observed and actually given us very.
You are a great listeners. Once.
Actually,
queen of evaluation.
Ma'am. Actually, my biggest problem everyone says is listen first. I keep talking, but that's why I think I love evaluation a lot. It forces me to listen to what others are telling. I don't know. This is like something I learned from the experience of what I've seen in contest and this. So I thought it will be helpful for us to have a mock contest. Then every one of us will come into that level.
I really needed the mock contest because I have no clue how the whole thing works.
I will also give the link of last year's evaluation contest, education link and humorous link, so that if people can go through. That is also a very good speech given by Ruchika Singh. She is a district winner. So there she has explained very beautifully about all the things. That is also very good. I'll give you the YouTube link in our group. Do look at it and try to create your own way of how you're going to. But sometimes what happens is in contest first, our mind gets freezed out. The only thing I learned is don't take it very seriously. Just show up, just do your best, and it'll be happening. I've seen so many district people trying for 10 years, 15 years, and we feel like, why are they even trying? But you hear any world champion of public speaking, what they say is not that the speech they want, but the experience, the journey of becoming a speaker is what I had an opportunity to have talk with Mark Brown. In District 121, they had it. When I asked him, he told me the 10 years that he took to become the world champion, he will value that most than the title itself. It's like it shapes us every time we go to the Toastmasters contest, and it's never sure that however well you are prepared, that there would be someone who would have done that more than us. But the experience of reshaping the mentally, the experience of becoming, the process is more important. So what I would say is don't get tensed on the moment and just be your cool, whatever you feel, whatever you observe. Sometimes being, tense itself will take half of your marks. Your face will show up when you're too tensed up for the event. I personally, my mentor, when the first time evaluation contest, right, my mentor first gave me this survey. I saw the video and he was so tense as if someone is going to kill you. Then it's very, judges are like, and one more thing I would say in Toastmasters, when judges say, it's a final, don't assume that they are partial to someone, she's a president, she's a VP. No, because this even I had when, I newly joined, but then the process itself, there is one chief judge and there are 8 voting judges. Okay. And you will not, except for the chief judge, like now in our contest, I know the chief judge, but I can't contact the chief judge. I know him, I welcomed him into the club, that's it. I have no contact with him. The contest chair whom we have appointed, he will be talking to him and organize. And even the contest chair will not know who is the 8 voting judges. They all will come into our contest anonymous, they'll not have their video on, they'll just put judge 1, judge 2, judge 8. No one will know who they are. And even the judge doesn't have, chief judge has no role. He will just sit, all the 8 judges will give the marking, the tally counter will take it, they tally it out, and they give it, hand over it to the chief judge. He will just look into that and see if there is any controversy. If we have any objections, time disqualification, that is only he will see. So it is very appropriate if you are, I mean, declared a winner, then you are really a winner. You really did good among all of them. So that is the thing. Anything else anyone wants to ask?
I just want to know one thing. While evaluating, we should address speaker directly, or we should talk in third person way.
Sir, good that you point this point. Never ever in evaluation talk about third point of view, because it is all about what you felt. We can see some people say like, your speech is so humorous that we all were laughing. No, it's said that it's about how you felt. What is your feeling? You can always say that I felt sorrow, I felt happy with your speech. You can address the speaker like Toastmaster, whoever it is. You can do that, but never use a third person perspective, because we don't want to listen. Maybe you felt like audience are smiling, but maybe the audience didn't smile. So there is always a contrary to that. So what you can do is always be my judgment. I felt like it could have been better. I felt so. It's always use your. That is what I heard from many speakers, that it should always be your point of view, because we want to hear your evaluation, not the other person's speak.
Date of humorous speech contest?
8th October. 8 October, 3 p.m. Both humorous and evaluation contest will be there. Uma ma'am, would you like to add some points, because you also have a lot of experience in evaluation? I really taken and become a big fan of your algebra is a cobra experience and cabra. I don't know how you made it out in the last moment.
I was just resonating with my hatred towards maths. Now I'm able to, correlate, saying that it is also useful in daily life. But maybe some chapters are not necessary. That is my feeling. So I could resonate with that, and that is how I got that quote. As usual, you are on fire, giving us all the inputs, and thank you so much. Thank you for all the tips and suggestions. I'm sure we'll make use of it.
Yeah.
And I'm also a voting judge tomorrow in one of the evaluation and humorous contest. I thought I'll join it to learn more.
Yeah. It actually opens up your eyes, ma'am, because last week I was a voting judge for one of the contests. I was literally feeling like, how long will this go? How will I have to listen to people? Because it's not easy. After one speech, 7 minutes, within 1 minute you get another person speaking about something different. Then vote him for all the numbers.
Very difficult to judge.
Yeah, it's very difficult to judge people. It's like at that moment what points you get and you add it on. That is what it
depends on luck also, and
yes.
Sometimes the last speaker has more impact, and you would have forgotten the first speaker.
Yeah.
So at that moment, what you feel, you mark.
Yeah. Some people say that the best thing is like when you come on the stage, you should be able to make the judges forget who came before you, and also forget who will be coming after you. That's a mark of a speaker, they say, but then that's it.
I'm sure you're also participating in the evaluation and humorous contest.
Humorous, I'm not participating in, but evaluation, yeah.
Okay. All the best to you also, and thank you for all the inputs.
Thank you, ma'am. So it's all done. Then we can I close the meeting? I think Marcus are also there. Okay, thank you everyone. I officially close the meeting number 184 of Speak Magic Toastmasters Club. And let me